Welcome to Curious Mind. Today we're not going to talk about a mystery of the cosmos or a new technology. We're going to talk about a silent crisis happening all around us, in our homes and in the wildest corners of the planet. You may not have heard about it, but animals of all kinds, from pets to wildlife, are experiencing an alarming increase in cancers and other chronic diseases. Diabetes, arthritis, heart problems. A new and revealing study, published in the prestigious journal Risk Analysis by Dr. Antonia Mataraga of the Agricultural University of Athens, has labeled this situation a crisis. And what's most disturbing is that, to a large extent, we've caused it ourselves. The figures are staggering. Consider this. According to the study, between 50 and 60% of domestic cats and dogs in developed countries are overweight, a key precursor to multiple diseases. 20% of pigs raised on factory farms suffer from osteoarthritis. But if you think this is limited to domesticated species, you're wrong. The study reviews devastating cases in nature. We're talking about gastrointestinal cancers in beluga whales, heart problems in farmed salmon, and, as mentioned, widespread tumors in sea turtles and fish inhabiting polluted estuaries. It's a global and worrying picture that we rarely consider. The fundamental question is why? The study identifies four main causes. The first cause is us playing God, genetics. Just Google what the dog breeds that we now find adorable looked like only 100 years ago. Generation after generation, we've selected them to enhance aesthetic or productive traits to the point of absurdity without caring about the consequences. We've created caricatures, flat snouts that impede breathing, domed skulls, and sloping hips that guarantee dysplasia. In livestock, excessive milk production, or uncontrolled wool growth. We have actively induced respiratory and cardiac pathologies and even gout. This extreme artificial selection creates a direct genetic predisposition to chronic diseases. The second cause is the environment and lifestyle. We live in cities where sedentary behavior is the norm and ultra-processed food is ubiquitous. Human obesity and diabetes have skyrocketed. And, although we may not think about it, our pets are trapped in that same lifestyle. They move less. They live in apartments without access to green spaces. Their activity is concentrated in 3 short walks a day, which is unrealistic for their biology. In humans, we know that low-intensity exercise distributed throughout the day is key. For them too, we are replicating our worst lifestyle diseases in our pets. This brings us to the last 2 culprits, the usual suspects. The third cause, industry and pollution. Remember the liver tumors in estuaries? The study is clear. They occur specifically in those contaminated with polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAHs, and polychlorinated biphenyls, PCBs. In short, industrial pollutants. These chemicals don't disappear. They bioaccumulate in the food chain, concentrating in top predators. The pollutants we don't treat properly, in the air they breathe and the water they drink, are directly responsible for this cancer epidemic in wildlife. Finally, the fourth cause, climate change. The study directly links it to chronic diseases in aquatic species. The case of sea turtles is a prime example. The increase in ocean temperatures and the degradation of corals, which die from the warming, are creating extreme environmental stress. This stress, combined with other pollutants, appears to be causing an increase in tumors, specifically fibropapillomatosis, a virus that manifests much more aggressively in turtles whose immune systems are weakened by a hostile environment. This animal crisis is modern, but cancer is incredibly ancient. You might ask, when did the first tumor in history appear? Scientists have found evidence of tumors in dinosaur fossils and even in primitive life forms from hundreds of millions of years ago. Cancer is, in essence, a glitch in the fundamental machinery of multicellular life. What we have done with genetics, pollution, and climate change is accelerate that fundamental glitch. But while we are the cause, we are also looking for the solution. And here, technology gives us new hope. Related to this, a fascinating piece of news. Scientists are developing a new AI to hunt for breast cancer in humans. These algorithms can detect patterns in mammograms that the human eye misses. It's the same logic we could apply to veterinary medicine, using our intelligence to correct the problems our lack of intelligence created. But let's return to Dr. Mataraga's study, because the most important aspect of her work is not just identifying the causes, but proposing a strategy for response. She proposes an evidence-based risk assessment model. And here lies the crux of the problem. Dr. Mataraga states, and I quote, "While organizations like the WHO provide extensive data on NCD, non-communicable disease mortality in humans, Similar detailed statistics for animals are scarce. We need a global veterinary surveillance system. We need data. As environmental changes accelerate the emergence of diseases, he says, the lack of early diagnostic systems further delays detection. The more cases we know about, the better we will understand the problem, its causes, and possible solutions. Animal health and our own health are not separate. They are fundamentally interconnected. We are part of the same ecosystem. This crisis in the animal world is a mirror. It is an early warning system of what we are doing to the planet and, by extension, to ourselves. Understanding this silent crisis is, at its core, beginning to understand ourselves. If you have learned something today, share this video. Help us make this crisis no longer silent. Subscribe to Curious Mind for more in-depth investigations into our world. And now we ask you, what do you think about this connection between our health and that of animals? Do you see these signs in your environment? Leave your opinion in the comments.